Well, the news happened, and also I had a baby with my wife in the same day. But the CMA has revealed the investigation findings basically for the Microsoft acquisition Blizzard. Now, I am super behind on the news, because real life is more important than making these vlogs. But I want to keep you up to date and talk about why I think a lot of people are overreacting to what the CMA has said and what is likely going to transpire here, because it's better for Microsoft than you might think. Yeah, that's right. I said it. So let's dive in right away. And I got crazy dad here, whatever. The Microsoft Activision deal could harm UK gamers. That's what the UK has posted. A CMA investigation has provisionally concluded that Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision could result in higher prices, fewer choices, or less innovation for UK gamers. And this was posted on the 8th of February, 2023. It's the full findings. And then an in-depth independent investigation provisionally finds deals raises concerns about cloud and console gaming. Merger could make Microsoft even stronger in cloud gaming, stifling competition in this growth market and harming UK gamers who cannot afford expensive consoles. Deals could also harm UK gamers by weakening the important rivalry between Xbox and PlayStation gaming consoles. So interesting stuff so far. We're just going to keep going on because I want to power through this. A CMA investigation has provisionally concluded that Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision could result in higher prices, fewer choices, or less innovation for UK gamers. The provisional findings from the Competition and Markets Authority follow a wide-ranging investigation conducted over the last 5 months to understand the market and potential impact of the deal. This has included holding site visits and hearings to hear directly from business leaders. Who could that be? It's a mystery. At Microsoft and Activision. Oh, so they also talked to Microsoft and Activision and Jim Ryan, of course, analyzing over 3 million internal documents from the two businesses to understand their views on the market, commissioning an independent survey of UK gamers, and gathering evidence from a range of other gaming console providers, game publishers, and cloud gaming service providers. There's the Sony part. Competition in the supply of cloud gaming services. Now, this is one of the areas where I actually said they might have something, but we'll see what they say here. The CMA provisionally found that being able to offer popular games will be important for cloud gaming providers to attract users as the market continues to grow and develop. Of course, the evidence available to the CMA currently indicates that Microsoft would find it commercially beneficial to make Activision's games exclusive to its own cloud gaming service or only available on other services under materially worse conditions. That sounds an awful lot like a Sony talking point. Anyway, Microsoft already accounts for an estimated 60 to 70% of global cloud gaming services and also has other important strengths in cloud gaming from owning Xbox, the leading PC operating system Windows, and a global cloud computing infrastructure, Azure, and Xbox Cloud Gaming. Xbox Cloud Gaming is run... Anyway, I just remembered they said that doesn't work the way that the regulators thought. Anyway, the CMA provisionally found that buying one of the world's most important game publishers would reinforce this strong position and substantially reduce the competition that Microsoft would otherwise face in the cloud gaming market in the UK. This could alter the future of gaming, potentially harming UK gamers, particularly those who cannot afford or do not want to buy an expensive gaming console or gaming Wait, what? You're talking about cloud gaming, but expressing concern that they cannot afford or do not want to buy an expensive gaming console or gaming PC. Do they know that cloud gaming doesn't need either of those things? You can do cloud gaming on your phone. I can cloud game on my iPad Gen 1 just fine. The whole purpose of cloud gaming is to expand the reach of gaming without the high upfront costs. So I feel like that point is a little strange. Anyway, this is my first time reading this, by the way, just verbatim, so I'm a little surprised by that. Anyway, continuing on. The CMA talked about the competition in the supply of consoles, which Sony is breaking all the records in right now. Anyway, the CMA provisionally found that a small number of key games, including Call of Duty, Activision's flagship game, play an important role in driving competition between consoles. The evidence available to the CMA, including data on how Microsoft measures the value of customers in the ordinary course of businesses, currently indicates that Microsoft would find it commercially beneficial to make Activision's game exclusive to its own consoles, or only available on PlayStation under materially worse conditions. The CMA's provisional findings note that this strategy of buying gaming studios and making their content exclusive to Microsoft's platforms has been used by Microsoft following several previous acquisitions of game studios. So they're talking about Bethesda, obviously. The CMA provisionally found that weakening competition by restricting the access that other platforms have to Activision's games could substantially reduce the competition between Xbox and PlayStation in the UK, in turn harming UK gamers. I'm going to hear them out, but before I do, just a quick reminder. If you're not subscribed yet, and you should be, you should hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, because you're one of the 50% of people who aren't subscribed. We're going to read through this, and there is a very easy solution, because at the end of all this, the UK says, well, here's some possible remedies for how you could address this. And they're honestly pretty easy to address for a $1 trillion company. So let's dive into that. But before we do, hit subscribe. What's up, yo? Is it because I stutter sometimes with the reads? No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's dive back into it. Xbox and PlayStation compete closely with each other at present, and access to the most important content like COD is an important part of that competition. Reducing this competition between Microsoft and Sony could result in gamers seeing higher prices, reduced range, lower quality, and worse services in gaming consoles over time. That's just a Sony talking point. Like, if they had independent talking points that weren't right out of the Sony script, I would be more on the CMA side. But when you read something like that, that is literally what Sony said. Not verbatim, like they rewrote it, but that is a Sony talking point, that they're going to lower quality, reduce, access, even though they've offered 10 years, even though all of the things that have transpired. It's just strange to see that. Continuing on. Martin Coleman, chair of the independent panel of experts conducting this Phase 2 investigation, said, it's been estimated that there are around 45 million gamers in the UK, and people in the UK spend more on gaming than any other form of entertainment, including music, movies, TV, and books. Strong competition between Xbox and PlayStation has defined the console gaming market over the last 20 years. Exciting new developments in cloud gaming are giving gamers even more choice. Our job is to make sure that UK gamers are not caught in the crossfire of global deals that over time could damage competition and result in higher prices, fewer choices, or less innovation. We have provisionally found that this may be the case here. We have also today sent the companies an explanation of how our concerns might be resolved, inviting their views and any alternative proposals they wish to submit. So that is kind of interesting. And it looks like they don't have the resolutions handy. I'm going to try and bring that up really quick, because that is a really important part that I want to discuss a little bit further. I want to talk about the provisional findings and remedies. So here is the monster document, the 277 page document where we divest. Okay. This is the one that jumps out at me, and probably one of the solutions they're going to go for. And I apologize for it being so tiny. The footnote of this whole video is going to be that there is a pretty easy solution. In our notice of possible remedies published alongside our provisional findings, we have set out 3 options to remedy the provisional substantial lessening of competition: prohibition of the merger, canceling it; divestiture of a part of Activision's business; or behavioral commitments by the parties. We also invite submissions from interested parties on these initial views by the 22nd of February, 2023. So, instead of relying on what I would say about this, people label me fanboy or whatever, I thought I would see what the people smarter than me said. And here is what an analyst said that means. What does divesting mean? Well, it just means having somebody else run that division in the UK. Here's what Michael Pachter told the pre-market prep on YouTube by right around closing bell time. Microsoft thinks they can be the next Netflix. That is their goal. I'm paraphrasing there. On the regulators, they're scrambling to settle. He thinks that all these regulators know they have a losing case and they all want to look like they got a one-up on Microsoft. So Microsoft probably saw this coming, and here's what he said specifically. One of the proposed remedies is operate in the UK status quo. They actually use the term divest, and they can't truly force a divestiture, but they offered Microsoft the opportunity to come up with an alternative remedy if they don't choose to divest of Call of Duty. And the alternative remedy is just set up a subsidiary and operate status quo with independent directors. So the independent directors will do whatever is best for competition. And that's according to Michael Pachter. So I saw a lot of doom and gloom headlines about this, but then a few days later, we're starting to see the experts chime in. People that don't really have a horse in the race, so to speak, with Microsoft Activision. And they're saying, yeah, this seems like it means the deal's going through, not that the deal is crumbling. So I found that really interesting, just to see like the doom and gloom headlines. And then we see professionals chime in on it. And they're like, yeah, this seems like the deal's fine. Like the deal's absolutely going to go through. So much has happened since all of this. Bobby Kodak's talking about how Sony's not taking back his phone calls. You know, Satya Nadella did an interview, and I plan to cover that. Obviously, my schedule's been a little crazy, but I'm going to do my best to make videos as often as I can. And hopefully we get back to that one a day thing. But in the meantime, that is likely what is going to happen with the CMA. So has this changed my perspective is probably what a lot of people are asking. Absolutely not. I think this deal still goes through. The divestiture thing was a bit of a surprise, but okay. So you want us to do what we did all those years ago and make that a separate business? And then what was the longer term implication of having done that? Nothing changed. Microsoft is still Microsoft. Nothing like drastically changed. So that's the long and the short of it. If you like my content, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when my content goes live. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to the members and everybody actually for just hanging out, not like unsubscribing while I had a baby with my wife. Hit that join button right down there. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to get out of here, but before I go, here's the last video I made with my predictions about this. So be sure to check that out, and I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.